Hello there. What is going on, everyone? Today we've got a B2 Super Battle Droid preview for Star Wars Legion, and we're going to talk about the B2 Super Battle Droids. Do want to remind you guys there is still time left to enter to win the $25 Amazon gift card giveaway. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos letting me know what color you think would make good B1 Battle Droids or something related to that. Maybe how would you personalize? What's the best way to maybe do your B1 Battle Droids to make them stand out? Maybe it's basing, maybe it's a certain paint job, maybe modding the pose a little bit, maybe giving them Mandalorian jetpacks. Oh, that would be terrifying. But yeah, so we're going to talk about the B2 Super Battle Droids today because they are getting ready to come out here pretty soon. Now, originally slated for February, may not be. We're looking still looking like first quarter, so hopefully that will be the case. So you're going to get 6 miniatures in here. You're also going to get, looks like 2 comm upgrades. It looks like integrated comms antenna and HQ uplink, which are stuff that we've already got. And, we're going to get these 6 minis. Now, they come in a variety of poses, but they're pretty much all very, very recognizable as the B2 Super Battle Droid. You better watch those wrist rockets. That's all I can say. Definitely watch those wrist rockets. All right. So if we look at the B2 Super Battle Droids card itself, one of the things you're going to notice is they're more expensive than the B1s. They're 48 points. Well, that's not terribly expensive. That's still more expensive than Rebel Troopers and Stormtroopers. But another thing is they've only got 3. You can see up there, they've only got 3 minis in the core unit. They're a core unit, but only have 3 as part of it. So like the Separatists are just all over the place with breaking the mold for core. They only get 3. Now, they do still have personnel and heavy weapons. They also have the comm upgrade slot. And they also have AI attack. So, again, you're going to be stuck having to attack here if you don't have a command. Which is actually a little more manageable since you look at their arm cannons only having a range 1 to 2. So you might actually be able to get around that AI attack ability a little bit. Now, a big deal for these guys is they have Armor 1, which is pretty huge. Armor 1 is going to cancel 1. That does do a couple of interesting things, though. That's going to allow critical or allow impact to turn some dice into crits. So if your opponent, were to roll just 1 hit against you, but they had impact, they could turn it to a crit and then kind of bypass your Armor 1. But still, Armor 1, hey, that's cool, man. I love the idea that it's got Armor 1. It might be a little bit less than optimal with all, the prevalence of critical X that's floating around. But at least the fact that it's only Armor 1, it'll probably at least be able to cancel 1 damage automatically, which is good. And that'll be helpful because they have 2 health for each of the minis. They're going to have 2 health each. So while you do only have 3 dudes, you actually have 6 health total and 6 dice because they're going to roll a black and a white at range 1 to 2. So you're kind of still getting the same amount of dice and health as a B1 Battle Droid unit. It's going to be a lot more expensive, but you can take a wound and not really suffer at all. So there is that. You got the Armor 1, you're more likely to defend a little bit. You've also got Courage value of 2, which is going to be really helpful because you're a lot less likely to panic. It's going to be good to have at least one of these in your army. If you need to make somebody else a commander on the spot, you're going to have a +1 Courage value, which is significant. And if they ever, try to do like an exact carbon copy of the basic trooper upgrades that we saw a long time ago for the Rebels and the Empire, and if you get a leader that's just a generic personnel that can go anywhere, that increases your courage value by 1. I don't think they'll do that because of this reason here, but that would be pretty significant. But yeah, so you've got the arm cannons, a black and a white, range 1 to 2. They have no surge, but they are speed 2, so they can move pretty fast. No surge of any kind. Of course, you're going to need surge tokens, and that's what a lot of the Clone Wars factions are able to do. So ultimately, you can put, with your personnel and heavy weapons, you can have up to 5 units in here, which would be a maximum of 10 health, which is very, very healthy, especially considering that you've got Armor 1. So I kind of like that, although that could begin to get a little on the expensive side. So I like them, but they're going to be close range guys with only range 1 to 2. To add an extra B2 Super Battle Droid, that's going to be 16 points, and that's going to get you up to 4 total miniatures and 8 total health, which is pretty nice. We I've already seen the B2 ACM Trooper, but this is a real nice, just a solid heavy weapon upgrade. It's a little on the cheaper side for heavy weapons, with only being 26 points. It's range 1 to 2, but it's going to add 3 red. Now, this is going to be great for so many reasons. First off, cheaper heavy weapon, which is nice. It's going to give you more dice than you normally would have had regardless, so that's good. And it's giving you 3 red. For a unit that doesn't have any surge, red dice are going to be, they have a lot more hits on them, so you have a pretty good chance of rolling 3 hits with this unit, and that's awesome. So that's one of the reasons why I like the 3 black dice troopers so popular on the B1s, because you just have a better chances of not rolling blank whites. And this is good. Now, it does still have that range 1 to 2 restriction, so it's not going to be, like this game-changing upgrade. It feels very in line with what the B2s already do, in that they already want to be in close range and they don't have that surge, so they just want to be able to just get close and overwhelm you with dice, hoping for enough hits to actually get the job done. And I think that's good. And there's not a whole lot of extra flash to it, but then when we did get spoiled, the B2 Ha Trooper, ha ha. And that's what he says. When you fire with this guy, you have to say, ha-ha. But he has a couple of new keywords, and also he's going to be a little more expensive at 32 points. First off, Impact 2. Useful. I think it will be useful because I think we're going to see a rise in the prevalence of vehicles once the 2 tanks for the Clone Wars factions come out. They look like they're going to be very, very strong. They may force a rise in armor for the other factions as well, so we may be seeing more Imperial tanks, Imperial ATSTs. We may be seeing more land speeders and snow speeders as well. So I feel like this will begin to become more popular. We are seeing a lot more people running ATRTs. Triple ATRT is somewhat on the rise right now, and I feel like that's going to be a thing. I think we're going to see more and more impact units start to creep in. And I think this is a good option because he's not good only for his impact. Now, if we look at the B2 HA Trooper, you're getting a couple of other things. You're getting Cycle, which is all right because it's an exhaustible weapon. So Cycle's a new keyword. If you exhaust this weapon, you don't have to do a recover action to get it ready. Just the next turn, if you don't use it, then you ready the card. Now, there's some pros and cons that come with this, but the bigger thing, let me talk about the bigger thing, is Blast. I think Blast is huge here. I think cover is becoming so much more important. Just with all the suppressive mechanics that we've got, there's so many suppressive keywords out there. There's so much suppression and people that can split fire. Having Blast and being able to get basically 2 extra wounds through right away, because of the fact that you're not going to cancel 2 with somebody that has heavy cover, or even just a suppression behind light cover, which is going to add up to heavy cover, or somebody with low profile and a suppression, like those snipers like to have. It's just, Blast is huge, and we don't see a whole lot of weapons with Blast, especially a range 3 weapon with Blast. And I think that's really what's cool here, is that this is range 3. Which these guys normally wouldn't have. So this gives you 3 dice at range 3. 2 of them happen to be red. Now, if you just look at the dice and compare him to the ACM, you're going to be like, well, I can get 3 red here, or I can get 2 red and a white here. Well, I want the 3 red instead. Well, yeah, I understand that. But range 3 is a significant jump over range 2. Now, this does have the limitation that you can't use it at range 1. I don't think that's too much of a problem, because if you do find yourself at range 1, you at least still get a white and a black for the base unit's attack, which does work at range 1. So you're only losing 1 die if you're at range 1. And the good thing about being that close to somebody else is, well, you may not have to worry about Blast anyway. You'll probably be close enough to them that, unless it's just like a barricade in between the 2 of you, they may not get cover anyhow. And that's fine. Now, they don't have the grenade slot, though, so you can't put any grenades on these droids, which is definitely a thing. So range 1 might be a weakness for these guys if you're running this guy, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's an exhaustible, though, and so Cycle is an interesting keyword that's basically going to help mitigate how difficult it is to use an exhaustible, so you won't have to recover. But I feel like the range 3 in here could potentially be problematic if you're mismanaging your orders. Like, if they don't have an order, the problem might be if somebody does move to range 3 of you and you don't want to exhaust this. Maybe they move to range 3 of you out in the open or something like that, or maybe it's an armored unit that moves out in the open, and you've just got 2 red and a white, and then they have to attack first and have to exhaust this guy first, and then they can do something else. That's kind of the the tricky thing. So I think it might be a good idea when you're using these guys to deploy them behind blocking terrain so that they can't see anybody at range 3, or they can't even potentially see somebody at range 3. Maybe somebody has a snow speeder or a land speeder or something that is going to try to move into compulsory move and move again into range 3 of this unit, forcing them to have to spend their heavy weapon right away. That is something to think about, and it's not and at the same time, if you are running if you're running other super battle droids, or even if you have the whole rest of the unit still alive, none of the rest of them will be able to shoot. You'll have to waste your whole attack on only one miniature shooting if you don't play it right. So I think this is a type of heavy weapon that's adding some cool functionality, but at the same time, it's going to be dangerous because you're making yourself slightly more vulnerable to the AI attack. So I think if you're using this guy, one of your priorities may be to get him an order over everybody else. Now, how do you do that? You can do that a couple of ways. If you're only running a single B2 Super Battle Droid, you run a bunch of B1 Battle Droids, you have them chain, you have this guy be the last guy in the chain. Make sure that he always gets one. You just have to be able to give a single core unit an order and then have them all chain it, have this guy be the last one. But in the future, as things become more complex, if you're running multiple B2 Super Battle Droids, you may not always be able to chain to everybody. So this time to maybe look at that comm upgrade, put yourself in there. Maybe this guy might be worthy of an HQ uplink if you're running a B2 HA. Might be worthy of an HQ uplink. It's definitely a distinct possibility. So I like, there's a couple of ways to do it. I'm not sure which one's best. I really like the point value, though, and a lot of times points drives it, but I love the fact that he's got blast, and this means at range 2, you have a really, really deadly attack pool. Is that too restrictive, though? I'd love to hear from you guys. Do you think that range 2 attack pool is too restrictive to make this card really worthwhile? Do you think the fact that you can attack at range 3, however, makes it even more worth it? I don't know, but I can't wait to get these guys on the table, especially with that armor 1. I think that's going to be really fun, helping to kind of reduce how much damage comes at them, especially like snipers, right? Especially snipers that want to have that pierce 1, and then they aim and shoot, and they get that 1 damage through. Maybe you are behind cover or whatever, but they still got that 1 that goes through because there's a sharpshooter, reduces your heavy cover, and I still got 1 through. Yeah, but it's canceled automatically. I love that. I love the armor 1. I feel like these guys might possibly be sniper proof with armor 1. And I really, really would love to see a reduction in snipers in Star Wars Legion, because every serious list I tend to play has to have triple snipers, right? Everybody wants to run. It's triple snipers is like almost mandatory. It makes me not want to run it makes me not want to run snipers at all, which is kind of hard to do. It's easier said than done. All right, well, that's all I've got for you today. I want to let you guys go, and thank you for hanging out with me, and we'll be bringing to you all the latest news, so stay tuned. Hopefully we'll get some more previews of the tanks here pretty soon, and also some official announcements of all the leaked stuff that should be hopefully coming out soon. Or if those end up not being real leaks, then official announcements of whatever is the next wave. Can't wait to hear from FFG on what's coming next for Star Wars Legion. All right, guys, I will talk to you later. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I also want to thank my patrons. You guys are amazing, so thank you for your continued support. You definitely help make this channel possible. I will talk to you all later. Thank you so much, and as always, have a great day.